Hi, Nicole. It's so good to see you. And
It's
just,
great to see you.
can you share with me a little bit about why you initially decided to reach out to me for help?
I initially reached out because I was seeing all of your posts on Instagram, and I had just got test results back of being 8.7 A1c.
Mhm.
And I was also struggling with the fact that I was having issues getting pregnant, and my doctor said because of all my health issues, it was probably um, going to be next to impossible to have a baby. So I wanted to do something with my diabetes to try to bring it into range to see if it helped any. And yeah.
Yeah, I remember when we initially started talking, that was like the main thing that you highlighted was that you really wanted to be able to get pregnant and have a baby. And um, your doctor had mentioned that you needed to be in a specific A1c range. So that was our goal, getting you to that A1c range in a way that felt good to you, that you didn't have to feel like you were cutting things out here and there. So what throughout the program were some of your numerical victories, like A1c or cholesterol, things like that?
So my A1c did go down to 6.2.
Amazing.
Yeah, so 8.7 to 6.2. Um, my cholesterol was really high in the beginning, especially the triglycerides. I don't
Mhm.
know how, but they were in the 600s, and we brought them down to the 300s, the low 300s. So that was a big
Amazing.
win for me.
That is
And I
absolutely,
can't say weight wise because I found out I was pregnant by before we even ended.
yeah. You reached your ultimate goal, which is just so
Yes.
amazing. I think I cried when you shared that with me because I just remember having conversations with you and like I wanted that for you just as much, I feel like. So that's
Yes.
amazing. What were some non-numerical victories in the program?
I just think knowledge. Like
Knowledge.
I go back to our time together all the time, especially now that I'm trying to get back on track again.
Mhm.
I'm constantly going back like, well, what did she say at this? Or what did I enjoy back then that helped me? Like, and I try to go back to those things to get myself back on track.
I love that. Yeah, and I'm just really happy to hear that because you have your system at home too. You guys are really good with grocery shopping and cooking, and now you just have that pool of knowledge to pull from and apply to the system that works for you, and with a little one too. And sounds like she's going to start eating soon if she hasn't already, probably. So
Yeah, we'll find out next week at her 6 month appointment.
that's so exciting. How would you say, Nicole, that the framework in the Blood Sugar Collaborative helped you to fill the gaps to accomplish these goals?
Well, I did enjoy watching the courses you have. I did
Mhm.
enjoy going through those. I feel like a couple things were kind of more like reminders to me, and other
Mhm.
things are like, why didn't I try that? You know? They just never really dawned on me type thing. So it really did help. And I've watched a couple of them a couple times, and I feel like when you do that, you always learn something new when you rewatch things a couple times.
I've had other clients say that the weekly coaching calls, even if they don't have a question, it can be really helpful to just show up
Oh,
and
they were very relatable too. Like you didn't realize you were going through the same thing, and then you got help from it, you know?
I think it can be really healing to just connect with other people that get it, the struggles, the
Hmm.
frustrations, the wins, all of that. And sometimes you have questions for each other and not just me. Can you share with me a little bit about how you're still able to enjoy the foods you love while reaching your goals and lowering your A1c?
That's that's actually funny because of our grocery shopping yesterday. My husband wanted bagels, and I love bagels, but I always have the issue of keeping them within my carb count, especially since I do notice like the regular breads and what rice and stuff still affect me a lot harder than other things. And we ended up getting normal bagels for him and the mini bagels for me because two minis are the same as one big, but I feel like I'm having one whole mini, you know?
Mhm.
And I also find it's the perfect amount of carb for me.
I see your posts and I see how good you guys work together as a team. Like I said, with the grocery shopping, with the meal preparation and things like that. So I'm happy that you're finding those little tools and adaptations where, you can still enjoy the bagels or you can still enjoy, maybe when you guys go out to eat or prepare a special meal or something like that. Or, I think that's
I
awesome.
do think part of working with you also reminded me it's okay to have like one bad day isn't going to ruin everything, or one bad meal isn't going to ruin everything. I'm a lot better at being like, oh, well, I did have that, but tomorrow I have my whole plan out still, and it doesn't mean I have to throw it out the window, you know? So
Exactly. That's one thing that's really important to me is that you can feel just like you can go out to eat and you're not just feeling that like sense of worry or overwhelm every single time, that you can just feel like, we're going out to eat. I get to enjoy this
mhm.
meal, and that's what it should feel like, even when you're
Yeah.
managing your blood sugars.
And I think that's something that has unconsciously helped because I do notice there's certain restaurants when we go out, I do eat well. Like we realize, the fast food burgers don't always make us happy, so we started going to the Chili's for their 3 for 10, and I'll
Hmm.
get the burger and I'll just ask for extra lettuce and no bun, and make it almost like a burger salad with a side of fries, and then my starter would always be a salad.
Right.
So I feel like, I enjoy the meal, I don't feel like I'm missing anything.
It sounds like you're able to, look at the menu and identify what are the key components that I need to have here while still keeping the integrity of what sounds good to Nicole today.
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that. That is a huge non-scale victory to me as a dietitian. So I love that. How would you say where you were prior to joining the Blood Sugar Collaborative compares to where you're at now?
I definitely don't feel as stressed out with food. I used to feel like it was a all or nothing, that I couldn't have certain things, and I like to cook, as you say. I love experimenting, I love cooking family recipes. I don't like giving up things, and being Asian, like, rice is a huge thing for us, so I'm still working on that one, but, yeah, I don't feel as stressed out around food, and I'm okay if I have one rough day knowing it may not affect me the next day, or after the next day, I'll be back on track type thing.
I'm just happy to see what a healthy relationship with food you're able to have. What was the most helpful part or the biggest takeaway that you got from the Blood Sugar Collaborative?
Hmm. I think the balancing and kind of the order of eating.
Hmm.
So, like, you and I felt like kind of I had more of a specific way of doing the plated version because I don't eat as much in a sitting because of my previous surgery, which
Hmm.
surprisingly has survived pregnancy. I love cooking complicated things, but when I do get overwhelmed, I do go back to basics and simple, like, we're just gonna have this, this, and this, or I like to do research like keto type meals and then have the rice or the pasta or the bread on the side so my husband can put as much as he wants and I can put as little as I want.
Like I always tell everyone, you don't want to be a short order cook for every member of the family, between you and your husband, and now you're going to have a third that are all eating together. You want to be able to enjoy something together. So I love
Yeah.
that. You're
And
adapting.
I've always been accommodating too. Like there were times I had to be vegan or plant-based for certain health issues, or his mom used to be vegan and is now vegetarian type thing. And I've always wanted to be accommodating when it comes to family meals. So I always planned it that way. We're like, oh, we're gonna have spaghetti, but we'll have the meatballs on the side for people who want it type thing. And
Okay.
it's just always how I've done it because I like including people, and I guess you could say food's my love language to people.
Hey, I can agree with that. I love Yeah, I love to see how well you have that under control. And it sounds like some of the ways of proportioning things on your plate have been helpful in managing the blood sugars overall. And I'm glad to hear that because it should be as easy as that, where you can just look at something and see, oh, that's all I have to do. And then it helps your blood sugar stay in range. What would you tell someone, Nicole, who's considering joining the Blood Sugar Collaborative or who's kind of on the fence about it?
Give it a try. I think it's worth it was definitely a jump of faith for me to try it.
Mhm.
And I'm glad I put the money into it and I tried it because like I said, even afterwards, I've kind of went off track a little bit after having the baby and coming back in, it doesn't feel as hard trying to find my grounding again. And I'm definitely starting to bring my numbers down a lot faster than if I didn't have the help of the class and remember everything that helped me before.
That's amazing to hear. It sounds like you really built that skill set and it's something that you can fall back upon. That's
Yes.
hopefully easy to apply, even after you've had a baby, so I'm
Yes.
really happy to hear that.